it's Claire Riley, entrepreneur, and today I am talking to you about 4 reasons why you need to be in love with your business in order to survive. Completely in love with it. In love with it like you love a child. It's got to be unconditional, where even if it annoys you a lot, that you're just going to be head over heels in love with it still. Right, so reason number 1 then, it eats into your life. It seriously eats into your life, and you have to not mind, you have to be okay with it. So when I say eats into your life, some of the examples I've got, like, you know, if you go to Bridlington, for example, this happens to us. So you go to Bridlington, it's a Saturday, you know, you'll be going to get an ice cream with your children, and all of a sudden you're going to have to jump online. I carry an iPad around with me with it's got a SIM card in it, just in case you need to make like a last minute website change or something like that. You have to be on call 24/7. It could be that you needed at the last minute, because if you can hear that noise, it's my cat and the cat flap. He just keeps coming in and out and in and out. Anyway, sorry. So uploads, that can be a thing that we've got to do. It's just an example of something that happens in the business where we have to drop everything that night, and then we've just got to go ahead with it. And so a few weeks before Christmas, that kind of thing happened. So things got behind, and we needed to get some resources online. So we dropped everything and we uploaded. So you have to be able to just go, okay, drop everything for the business. Even though I don't really like uploading, to be honest, but it was fine. You need to be able to solve business problems quickly. Sometimes they're urgent, and at the end of the day, especially for the big problems, you can't stop yourself as, you know, the business leader going over it in your mind. You need to come to a solution, even if there's no specific deadline. It has to be resolved. You're always gonna have to just drop everything to solve those big problems. For our business, it's a website. Something that's happened to us quite a bit is a website fail, you know, and that can mean that Edward is working in the night, middle of the night, trying to fix it basically. And the reason why he'd be working in the middle of the night is that's when it's quiet as well. So that's the first reason. It eats into your life, so you have to not mind that it's eating into your life. Another one on that as well, social media comments. So over Christmas, we said to our team, make sure you all have a holiday, but then that meant that we were on call for any social media comments that may be negative and trying to damage your brand. You've got to be on the lookout for them all the time. Thankfully they weren't on, which was brilliant, and we had a lovely Christmas. Okay, so second reason then, why you need to be totally in love with your business to survive. Evenings can often be spent working. So I've done my Facebook Live on an evening now, I think for the past week, and just to show you this. Okay, it's not down now. Oh look, who's that? Edward, hello!
Hello.
And he's also working. So here we are working on an evening, and I had to get some stuff done for tomorrow, so I've got 3 meetings tomorrow and I'm leading on all of them. So I just needed to get some stuff together, because when I'm in the office, it's just, sometimes it just does not happen. It really does not happen, because the more staff you get, the more people you are accountable to, the more people need advice, you know, and when, you know, they're not asking daft stuff, they're asking actual stuff that they need to know the answers to. But you go into the office, you don't get any work done, so then you come home and then you start your day's work if you haven't had a chance to do anything. And I would push it on, but I can't, because I've got those meetings tomorrow. So often you'll end up working on an evening. So we stopped paying for our TV package about 2.5 years ago, because there was just no point in having it. And we live in one of those weird areas where you don't actually get channels if you don't pay for them. So we love Netflix and Amazon, because we don't watch TV. It's all for the kids. Peppa Pig. So yeah, you need to make sure then that you don't work every night, because then you are going to get just burnt out with it. And the good thing is, sort of, as you move on with your business, then maybe you don't have the deadlines in the same way. So I used to have deadlines for the day-to-day running of the business, which used to be quite stressful. Whereas now I don't. I still have deadlines, but it's not really on service and delivery, which I don't really want to be involved in, because I'm thinking strategy, and mine sort of needs to be on strategy now. So that's the second reason why you need to be totally in love with your business, because you're going to have to work evenings. The good thing about that though is you kind of can reverse it up. So Edward works full-time for the company now, and neither of us do full-time hours in the week. So we both spend time with the children. So I suppose really it's just sort of evening it out. We do end up working a bit, but that means that the children don't go to full-time nursery, which is really nice, you know, when you try to run a business and you are working full-time. So that's the upside of it. Right, third reason why you need to be completely in love with your business in order to survive is sacrifice. A lot of people are not willing to make the sacrifice, and you know, some special people might not have to do it. If you have this amazing business idea, I don't know, but a lot of people do, and it's sacrifice. Like when you see other people buying new cars, you don't buy a new car. You carry on with your banger, and it's not that you don't have money in the company, it's just that you need to spend it on other things like a member of staff, because if you don't get another member of staff, then you're not going to grow your company. So you need to be able to sacrifice, you need to be willing to sacrifice and see it out for the long haul. It's a bit like having a long-term investment. You know, you wouldn't get investments and then take them out straight away. You would keep them in and see them grow, and it's the same thing really with the business. You need to be able to sacrifice things like that, and you also need to really care about the product and the service that you're offering more than the profits. Otherwise you're not going to make any profits. So you need to make sure that you can sacrifice the time it takes to actually make money from it, because it might not be instant, unfortunately. So yeah, you got to believe in the product. So the third reason why you really need to be in love with your business is you are going to have to sacrifice things. And the final reason why you need to be really in love with your business is because, do you know what? As I absolutely adore Classroom Secrets. It's my life and I really love it. But do you know what? It does come with some rubbish. It really does. And you have to be alright with that. So some of the rubbish things that you get, sometimes staff can be quite difficult. You know, 90% of the time it's plain sailing and it's brilliant. But just that 10% of the time, there are tough things to deal with. Things that you'd never thought you'd have to deal with, things you didn't want to do. You just have to be a different person. Sometimes it just isn't nice. Staff are brilliant most of the time, but sometimes not so much. People's opinions. They can be opinions in the company. They can be opinions of people who don't even know you. I don't know, people you went to school with, family, friends. They have a range of opinions, probably not even understanding what it is that you're actually trying to achieve or trying to do. And if you take them on board, then they can be quite hurtful. So best just to ignore them, to be honest, because everybody in that situation thinks they knows best. Trolls, you can have trolls as well, especially on social media, just come in and looking for posts about your company and then typing on them and saying how bad you are, even though like 97% of the people think that you're brilliant. But it's a thing. There are trolls out there. So that's something else. But then I also believe now that actually it's probably a compliment, really. If they don't like you that much, you must be doing something good that they don't like, so that's fine. And then another thing is other companies. So it can be difficult if you're in a marketplace with other companies that do a similar thing. It might be that there's a massive company and you might feel, how are we going to ever sort of compete with that? It's impossible. Or it might even be, you might feel that some companies are maybe being a bit underhand, or you know, they're not being the best way that they could possibly be, and they're making it difficult for you in those ways. So yeah, that's the fourth reason why you really have to be in love with your business in order to survive, and that is the key word there, survive. And that wraps it all up now. So I'll just tell you those reasons really quickly. So the 4 reasons why you need to be really in love with your business to survive. 1, it eats into your life and you have to be all right with that. 2, evenings can be spent working, but equally you can mix it up and you can probably take time off in the day. 3, you have to be willing to sacrifice and know that you've got to sacrifice, and see it through as a long-term investment. And 4, sometimes there's a lot of rubbish that comes with it, as brilliant as it is. And with that, I am going to go.